Hello everyone, Derry here, and welcome to Spin. Welcome to the garden. Now today, we're going to be planting out just a little bit of Silver Queen hybrid sweet corn. We planted this corn last year, and it was very sweet. And so I'm just going to plant out about 4 squares. When I started the seed, everything was looking fine, but as with everything else, I only had about half of my seed come up. Now, normally I'd plant out one of these little 2 by 8 beds, and if you're wondering, this is square foot gardening. Um, the entire space of my little garden here is probably about 15 by 20 if you add the back row, which I added last year. Um, it is what it is. It's square foot garden. I don't have a lot of space, but I'm going to try to use it as best I can. But today I need to get this corn in. So on with the planting. Within the garden, everyone does things their own way. I only know what works for me, or should I say, what has come close to working for me most of the time. I'm always open to try something different, whatever that may be. But today, this is what I have and this is what I'm going with. So to begin here, I have some garden tone soil here. It's 344. I like to bump it up, so I'm gonna add my garden tone, and I'm gonna come back behind it with bud meal and bone meal. I'm just gonna sprinkle this in here. There are a couple of collard greens still here, kind of volunteers or leftovers from last year. You know, not having a lot of space, square foot gardening is pretty much been one of the best things I've ever found so far. I would, much like most others, would like to have much more space that I could grow in, but as things have it at the moment, this is where I am. Now, I don't own this property. I rent this property. Got permission to have the garden, of course. Pretty cool landlord. And I put it in a couple years ago. Last season was awful, so I think it was awful for just about everybody. And we're hoping this season's better. Now the next thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna grab my chicken feet. Yes, it is a little scratcher, and it looks like chicken feet, and it works like nobody's business. And I'm just gonna scratch this in. My soil's pretty fluffy, very, very light. Every bit of it, it's mostly bag soil mixed in with some garden soil. I'm just gonna get this here mixed in. I'll come back here on top and get this filled in with some fresh compost. All right, get our compost here. Get it smoothed back in. Bag is really wet from the rain last night, but that's also good. Get these in here. I'm still gonna have to water them in, even though it rained last night. This soil is so fast draining. And it is very fast draining. But when I put it here, the garden sits at the bottom of a slight slope. I'll make a video on it. I did some reading. I did a little bit of studying. Probably should have did a little bit more, but so far it's worked pretty well. I mean, even in the hard rains, I don't have to worry about my vegetables standing in water. The water runs through. I had to put in 2 gigantic clumps there, tall grass, to kind of break the flow of water up so it doesn't just wash everything out. So far, it's worked well. Now the next thing I'm gonna do here, we got a little soil amended, my little volunteer collard here. I'm gonna try to leave it, and we're just gonna see what happens. And my square foot gardening recommends 4 per square. Since corn is pollinated by the wind, I'm gonna stack mine in even closer. I'm probably gonna plant them out about, I think I'm probably gonna put 6 per square. And I know this isn't the way that everyone else does it, but this is the way that I'm going to do it in the square foot. I'm pretty sure that it's going to run out of nutrients, so I'm going to be on a pretty tight schedule here of using some liquid seaweed or some form of organic fertilizer every 2 weeks. That way I can keep it full of nutrients and growing strong. It's going to be a tight pack, but since I'm only going to have these small squares planted out, and like I said, it's wind pollinated, I want to make sure that they're close enough so that pollination actually happens. So let's throw in some corn. As you can see here, as far as our little root zone, we did okay. It's about the perfect time to get them pulled out of there before things get any bigger. And so I'm going to separate these and get them dropped in. Yes, the side of this bed kills my doggone knees. Let's get on the ground. Probably should have did this before now, but that'll be okay. Everybody be happy when they get in their home. Now let's get these guys in. I'm gonna start here first. All right. And I want to make sure when I put this in here that it goes back ground level to where it was originally in the cedar. That's number 1. The neighborhood's alive today. Alright, I'm not gonna force you guys to watch me get this in here. We'll come back once they're planted. This is tight quarters, but we'll see as the season progresses if I'm able to make sure that these guys or gals have enough nutrients. And this is just it, people. On your knees, hands in the dirt, working for what you eat. Of course, right in the middle of my video, that plane will come over. And there we have it. Small block of corn. I may try another small block on over. My biggest concern was getting this too far back and covering up my berries and my grapevine, and prayerfully I get plums this year. In any case, that is the end of this video. We have placed in about 22 ears of corn. If all goes well, we'll have a nice bunch to actually drop into the freezer. And don't forget, save those seeds, because next year is probably going to be a whole lot uglier than this year. In either case, I want to thank you guys for dropping by. It's been Derry with Vertigrow. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.